Are you drinking kombucha? Kombucha?
Yeah, it's my favorite brand, Coors Kombucha. Well, hopping right into it, I have a pretty fun sort of recent history throwback topic that I thought is
Okay.
perfect for October since it is debatably the scariest month of the year. And
Mm-hmm.
I will say, something happened in the past couple of weeks to inspire this topic. So, Bailey, you were visiting my house a couple of weeks ago, and you decided that it would be a great idea to visit a thrift store on your way and then leave a bunch of weird crap in my home. So, anyway, I
Yes,
ended up,
but it was a little experiment that I wanted to do to see how long it would take you guys to find these items.
and it
So
ranged anywhere from 1 millisecond to 2 weeks.
yes, you still
Um,
haven't found the jar of teeth though. So let me know when you find that.
oh my god, I hope that's fake. Okay, but anyway, I ended up with this beautiful rotating cloud sculpture.
Mm-hmm.
It's the kind where you kind of like you wind it up and it plays music.
Yep.
Um, so naturally, I find this clown and I give it a few cranks. Like, I'm just like sitting there, just like really cranking my clown. And it plays like a nice little like bell chime song.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I didn't know is that this clown was going to jam up and then proceed to resume playing the song at random hours over the course of like the next 8 days. So we will just be like sleeping and then this haunting circus tune will just like start playing off in the house
Okay.
for like 5 seconds and then it'll stop.
Are you freaking
I'm dead
serious?
serious. My
Okay, I
family's
bought.
upset, my cats are upset, my wife is upset. And it just stops for a while and then if you just like take a heavy step or something moves, it resumes playing and then it stops in a few more seconds.
I bought that wanting to buy a haunted figurine,
I think it's just like
just
the
guessing
the
that it was
little
haunted.
okay, well, for starters, you are a little bit more intuitive about that stuff than I am, or attuned to that stuff. So maybe,
Evan. I'm gonna move
but
my candle.
so
She went
maybe it's
straight for the
haunted.
fire.
I don't know. I think the motor's just kind of busted.
Well, it
I,
definitely is very old, so it could also be that. Yes.
yeah. Did you buy
Dude,
this in
no.
Hannibal?
No, I bought it in Quincy.
Oh, weird. It's got a
Yeah.
sticker that says Hannibal 467, and on top of that, a sticker that says Goodwill 599.
Okay, so it's been to at least two different thrift stores.
Yeah,
And
and
I wonder if it's because it is haunted.
I would say it
Hi.
has not found a loving home yet. But, I think it'd be funny to donate something that's got like 6 stickers on it, and just
Like they
keep.
just keep adding the stickers on top of one
Oh, yeah,
another.
absolutely, absolutely. So, do you want to just like explain a little bit on what this tradition or experiment is? Like, what the.
Yeah, so in college, when I would go to friends' dorms, I would do some things like flip pictures upside down or like move things around and not tell them.
Sure.
Um, and I've wanted to do this for a while where I go to a thrift store or like a resale store and I buy something and just leave it in someone's house and not tell them. Um, but since we were coming to St. Louis for Adam's birthday and we were going to stay at your guys' house, I was like, this would be perfect. I don't have the kids right now and I can just go to the store and like meander and not have to be on a timeline.
Sure.
And so I was like, this would be awesome. So I decided to get two things. And then I was like, I want to just put them in your house and see how long it would take you guys to find them. Now, the clown I put in your living room on top of your old antique radio, I knew that that wouldn't take very long, but the smut book that I got, I put it somewhere a little, like, still in the living room, but not as noticeable. Adam was like, you should put it on Kayla's nightstand in their bedroom
Oh my God.
and see if you notice it first. And you're like, Kayla, what are you reading? Or, something like that. It was a super your face. It's a super like sultry cover. Book
the
probably
type,
from like the 80s or 90s.
A boy,
like
shirt ripped open, really long flowing hair, just as long as the
like Fabio.
Women's. Yeah, just some like Caucasian,
yeah.
cisgendered, jacked people holding each other lovingly on a boat or something.
Yes. And I did not read any of the book, but if I had to assume, it would probably be something along the lines of two people, are two strangers, are in a car accident and they have to find somewhere to stay for the night, and they go to the hotel, and the guy working the front desk says, "Oh, we only have one room and it only has one bed." That's probably what
they've gotten me with that one a couple of times.
They got me, yeah.
Yeah. I will check out.
A hotel stay is not included in your AAA. Just so you know.
Okay,
but it is in your XXX.
Oh. Easy, buddy. This is my right.
Buddy.
This is my episode to write.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Hurry up.
Okay, dear God.
Quit clowning around.
But
right, anyway.
Okay, so anyway, I will make sure to read the book and give my full review on the next episode. And who knows, maybe I will learn something. I will have my wife chime in as well. But anyway, this whole thing led me to contemplate how scary clowns can be. And that got me thinking about one of our generation's strangest and most pivotal clown moments. And I am, of course, talking about the 2016 clown panic, which is probably our generation's equivalent to like the JFK assassination, as far as like, shocking and prevalence. So before we get into the weeds on that, let's have a quick 1-paragraph recap of what happened in 2016. This comes to us courtesy of Google AI. So,
all right.
The 2016 clown panic was a mass hysteria event where people reported seeing people dressed as evil clowns in unusual places, such as near schools and forests. The phenomenon began in South Carolina in late August 2016, after reports of clowns trying to lure children into the woods. The sightings spread to many other counties and territories, including the United States, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom. So, all of that to say, Bailey, do you remember the clowns being in the news back then? And I guess just like, where were you when clowns attacked?
Yes. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, great movie. That's what that just made me think of. So 2016, Adam and I had gotten married in the summer. So we were just kind of like both out of college. And I don't remember when Vine was ended, but I remember it was
right
big
around there. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember it was big around or big on social media, especially Instagram, where it would just be because TikTok wasn't around yet. No. What did we do before that?
Musical.ly or whatever.
Ew, you're right.
Yeah. And it was just lip syncing and sped up dances.
Yeah. But I just remember seeing them and just being like genuinely weirded out because the other part of me is like, okay, it's just some guy in a costume, but I do vaguely remember a friend of mine seeing somebody on a country road dressed up as a clown around our hometown. So that's kind of creepy.
Yeah, I mean, it could have just been an organic clown out and about, clowning around, on their regular business.
Yeah.
But
You
that's
know, if
still on a country road though. Like these are, I mean, our hometown. It's like you're not just out on the roads for like a stroll because the roads are like they go nowhere.
well, a lot of the roads in the country are like gravel roads once
Hmm.
you get off of the highways and main roads and stuff. And our hometown is like population of 6,000 people, and I'm pretty sure they include the prison inmate count in that, because if you go and look at the outline of the county, there's literally like our town of Hillsborough and then like a little sliver of land and then the prison. I'm
Right.
not joking.
I
Yeah.
I believe it. I
So
believe it.
probably even less than that, but I don't know. I mean, we also had nothing better to do. So,
I mean,
why not
yeah,
dress up and just stand in the middle of the road and scare people?
I guess so. I guess so. So, I mean, very much the same. Yeah, like we were living in small towns back then. I think I was probably going to college, probably about to drop out for like the third time, working at a movie theater. And I know that was 1 year before the hit remake of Stephen King's It came out. And
Oh,
yeah, that
yes.
same year, the controversial 2016 Suicide Squad film came out, which included an even more controversial redesign of DC's popular comic book character, the Joker. So,
Yeah.
like, people were very hungry for clown content in that
Yeah.
era. Plus,
Yeah.
social media, it was still kind of in its meteoric climb around then. So everybody was looking to get a little piece of that attention, kind of like you said, if you had nothing better to do. So it makes sense. So
Yep.
all of that is to set up the fact that we were standing on the perfect stage, culturally speaking, for a clown themed problem. And that's exactly what we received. So, like with most things, you can go back as far as you want to, since this is a historically nuanced topic. But most sources agree that the clown panic really kicked off in August of 2016 in a little town called Greenville, South Carolina. Okay.
Ooh.
So, um, got to differentiate that because we also, hung out in a different Greenville. It's like Springfield, there's one everywhere.
Yes.
But a New York Times article written by Katie Rogers in late August of 2016 opens with this statement. Ahem. At the edge of dark, dark woods in South Carolina, children have been telling adults that a group of clowns have been trying to lure them into the cluster of trees. They say the clowns live deep in the woods, near a house, by a pond. This tale sounds like a mishmash of newspaper clippings and pages ripped from Stephen King novels, but these are actual details taken from a report filed by the sheriff's office in Greenville County, South Carolina, last week after several residents at an apartment complex there said that people in clown makeup had been terrorizing both children and adults. So, this was probably the first incident I heard of back in 2016, and this story went absolutely viral. So people were
Mhm.
attaching fake images of scary clowns. Parents were posting warnings to watch their kids closely, like in the community groups on Facebook and stuff. And even
Yeah.
like halfway across the country in Illinois, a sort of like passive tension was building regarding clown sightings. Like it was a thing people were talking about. That was like the hot controversial
Right.
thing people would say passing the streets. Like, make sure you're locking your doors. There's those, they're starting to see clowns popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
Um,
I never saw one, but there was one time where I was like, I don't remember where I was, but I was getting in my car really late at night and I didn't see anything, but I heard like a really faint like whoop whoop.
great prison population and a
for
big juggalo population out there. Surprisingly, they
for
don't
the
overlap on the Venn diagram, but
yeah, for those of you who don't know, people who are fans or part of like the Insane Clown Posse fan base, there's like they say like the whoop whoop to each other. So that's the
yes.
context of that joke. I will,
I shouldn't assume that
explain.
everybody's down with the clown. Yeah.
I know.
So,
Yeah. Well, I wasn't until you like told me
but
to listen to them.
you were
And
like aware of them, right?
yeah, I knew
Like,
who they were, but
okay.
I'd never gone out of my way to listen to their music. So
They were
But now,
I cannot get into another pro Insane Clown Posse rant on here, but actually, not to be hipster, but some of their old stuff was kind of groundbreaking in a lot of ways.
yeah.
I mean, their super old stuff was just not good, but once they like caught their stride and started having like some of the dark circusy themes, like man,
Hmm.
really good
Well,
beats.
I'm going to tell you right now, like the fact that mainstream radio stations and media would not play their content,
Yeah,
the fact that that did not deter them from becoming as big as they are now is
sure, sure.
amazing. Like
It's
that to me is so cool.
It's also
You
kind of
know?
funny. I feel like, no, it is super cool. And plus,
Yeah.
they got most of their growth kind of before social media had really popped off, too. So they
Yes.
got that meteoric rise without
Mhm.
the aid of social media and hashtagging campaigns and without being played on the radio. It's like, how?
How?
Like, where
Yeah,
did they
word of
get
mouth at
fans?
that point.
I guess just
Yes.
doing live shows or
Yeah.
something. Um,
I will tell you one thing though, listening to Chop Chop Slide on the way to work hits different. So,
Chop chop. I like the idea of just listening to Chop Chop Slide for enjoyment. Um okay, okay. So,
okay, I'll stop.
Bailey, two questions for you, I guess. So,
Uh-huh.
first, do you remember some of the community dialogue around town, like clown terrorism at the time, like what people were saying about it. And so I'm not just like making up in my head that people were like legitimately worried about clowns. And then second, how would you have reacted to something like this as a parent? Because obviously you weren't a parent yet in 2016, but like if it
Yeah.
happened today.
Oh gosh. I definitely do remember people like just being freaked out by it, just like unsettled because it is
Mhm.
unsettling.
Sure.
When someone is wearing face paint or a mask, you can't tell who they are. And when you can't see who the person is, like it's hard to gauge if it's a joke or not, if that makes sense. To me at
Yeah.
least. Because if it's you, I'm just gonna laugh,
Sure.
and if I
No,
know it's you.
that's a
But
good
if
point. You don't
it's
know if it's a TikTok prank or if it's somebody's about to kill
right.
you. Like,
Yes. Yeah. Um I remember being a little freaked out, but like with it happening in places that were a little farther away than us, I
sure.
never was like, "Oh no,"
There'd
you
never be
know.
clowns in our community.
I mean, crime happens anywhere no matter where you are. It doesn't matter. It just might depend on the type of crimes, but I won't go into that. But I do
Right.
know um I yeah, I just remember being like unsettled by it. I don't remember any like local lore about
Hmm.
it. People were talking about it definitely. Like, "Oh my gosh, you see that clown video?" A lot of it I do remember seeing on Facebook now that I think about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I do remember specifically because this everyone was saying Greenville, Greenville, Greenville. I knew
Mhm.
several people who had just like glanced over the headlines and assumed that this was happening in Greenville, Illinois, like in their hometown.
Oh,
Or, they'd be like,
yes.
"Did you hear about that clown stuff happening over in Greenville? Well, if I see any of those clown effers, I'm gonna, flip and hit them with a frying pan or whatever they say in small
Right.
towns."
Yeah.
Um,
Which the Greenville, Illinois is about 30-ish minutes from our hometown, so that's why people were a
yeah.
little weirded out by that. But I think that as a parent, if, I saw this happening and my kids in school in the area where this is happening, I mean, obviously they know I tell them not to talk to strangers, but my children are not shy,
Have you told them like not to talk to like
unfortunately.
clowns though?
Um they get a little weirded out by things. I think if
Just
someone's like,
hey
sorry, hang
kids.
on. Yeah, they'd be like, what the actual fuck?
Right.
They probably just look at me and be like, you know this guy? Is this okay? Um,
Cuz I
but
mean
like,
they've
yeah,
seen me. They think that's just like your normal friends.
yeah. So,
Mm.
you know, um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know that there's much I could do besides make sure that they weren't alone late at
Mhm.
night or in a position that they could become a victim if I had anything to do with it. You know what I mean?
Sure. And
So
I guess the dangers that are present with clowns are no different than the dangers that are present just, having
yeah,
kids out and around. You got to keep an eye out on them at the park and all that stuff.
yeah. I will say though, I went to Walmart last week and had my 4-year-old son with me. Um, and they've got all the Halloween stuff out, right? So they
Hmm.
have like little dolls of like Pennywise, Chucky, and they're probably just over 2 feet tall. And instead of like being scared of them like a normal kid would be, because they do have like fake blood on them, and like the Pennywise one has like really sharp teeth, he just walked up and started hugging all of them.
Oh, that's
So
kind of sweet.
it was really sweet, and he's like, "Mommy, I want this one." And I was like, why don't we go look at like some of the squishmallows or something? Like,
I
I don't
love him.
know.
He's such a strange kid sometimes. So
He is. It was super funny though. I was like, dude, are you for real right now? Like, you're not scared of these?
I guess that's a good problem to have. I mean, like
Yeah.
normal parents, you could be like, "You better not scream in church, or Chucky's gonna be under your bed," and he'd be like,
Oh,
"You got me a Chucky."
yeah, right?
Be excited. Oh man.
Dude, I don't know.
So, anyway, this New York Times article went on to explain that the Greenville, South Carolina Police Department basically started to get flooded with reports and concerned phone calls regarding clown sightings. Everything from people saying that clowns were knocking at their doors to kids saying that clowns were again trying to lead them into the woods with offers of money or candy or things like that, to incidents where concerned townspeople may have actually started firing actual guns into the woods in a panic. But
What?
while all of this was happening in Greenville, a completely different clown incident was helping to elevate the national fear levels out in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So, according to an
What?
ABC News article, a series of photographs of a person dressed as a creepy clown apparently prowling the streets of Green Bay, Wisconsin, is freaking people out, prompting calls to police, according to local news reports. The article goes on to say that the first sightings happened one night in, again, late August at around 2 a.m. So, 7 photos were posted on a Facebook page of a clown carrying dark balloons and wearing what appeared to be a very worn out, dirty looking costume and a full face of clown makeup, or like some kind of like saggy skin textured mask in a parking lot beneath an overpass. So the terrifying clown in question, actually, let me pull up a picture here, and I will just show you real quick.
Sure. Ew.
So this was the sighting of the clown under the overpass that was apparently just like hanging out there for a while. So, again, the terrifying clown, which I just threw the picture up there, would go on to be spotted several more times across Green Bay. It became a sort of terrifying Where's Waldo event where people created a fan page for the suspicious person on Facebook where people could post their own sightings. This page blew up, growing to over 50,000 followers. The police were called several times, but apparently, unlike Greenville, South Carolina, they just told concerned citizens that the clown wasn't breaking any laws because in Green Bay, people are allowed to dress however they want.
So I just Googled this really quick because to me, this picture looks pretty close to the Terrifier clown. I don't know if you have seen the
Yeah,
movies.
art.
Terrifier came out March 15th of 2016. So I'm
Interesting.
not
So that would have been like
wondering.
6 months right before this.
Yes. And I don't think Terrifier was shown in theaters.
No theaters
Let
around
me look
us,
it up.
that's for sure.
2016 at the Telluride Horror Show Film Festival. So it came out then
And then it hit
at the film
theaters later
festival,
on.
but it wasn't. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. So it debuted at Film Festival and then didn't come out in the States for 2 years.
In 2018.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Wow, they made
Okay, so
Terrifier on $35,000. That's so low.
I mean, you can kind of tell, but
Yeah,
that's
but
okay.
it looks better
You
than
know, yeah.
35K. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece, but
Go ahead and get your drink. I'm gonna go to the bathroom
sure.
because I can't hold it anymore. I'm sorry for not going before. So,
A few moments later.
all right. You hear me?
Yes. Yes,
All right,
yes.
just a second.
Ah, what the frick? What is this? Is that a filter or are you wear?
What?
Oh, that's real?
Yeah.
How'd you do that so fast? Oh my God. I thought this was like a Snapchat filter or something.
No, I don't know how to do filters on here.
Oh my God. Are you I'm flabbergasted. I lost my English. Well, I'm gonna have to cut some stuff from my script.
You're gonna. No, it's okay.
Are you doing a clown for Halloween, or did you just have this
No.
around?
No, I just.
You go. So
When
you
I
were
asked you.
you're doing this
Yeah.
10 minutes after an insane clown posse rules dialogue, and I'm starting to have some concerns.
No. Oh man, I'm crying.
What happened?
I'm crying. No, okay.
If you're just audio
Whenever-
only, this is not making any sense right now.
I'm totally dressed up as a clown. I told Ethan I had to go to the bathroom. And I came back looking like this. And I hope this fucking lipstick comes off because I got it all over.
This is a good month
yeah.
to this is a
So,
good month to have that stuck on, I guess.
Yes. I will say, well, I can just say I went to see the Joker movie. So people will believe me.
I heard this is better than Joker 2.
You know, I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna wait to inform my own opinion about it.
Very much same. I want to go see it.
But when I texted you asking what your episode was gonna be on, because like it itches. For context, whenever we do episodes, we don't give each other details until we talk about it. So we'll have like, oh, this is the topic, but then we'll leave it at that. And we won't be like, oh yeah, like this happened like in the 80s or whatever. So when you text me saying that you're going to talk about the clown scare in 2016, I was like, oh, do I dress up as a clown for the whole episode, or do I tell him I have to go to the bathroom and do it about halfway through? So
okay,
yeah,
all the Sephora skills are paying off because that is immaculate in such a short time.
Dude, this ain't nothing.
Lost for words. That's a great wig.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Well, I've effectively lost my place.
Sorry.
Well,
put that back on.
Oh my God, this is good clickbait. That's the most surprised I've ever been in my whole life, probably. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So
I'm dead.
So for better or worse, this case ended up being mostly fake. Despite being viral. Who would have guessed? Fake news, man. So apparently the initial photos of Gags the Clown, as he became known in Green Bay, were released as part of a viral marketing campaign for a short film by a man named Adam Kraus. People flocked to the story, and the marketing campaign was a huge success. What the filmmaker might not have expected, however, is that this fake clown sighting post inspired copycat pranksters to recreate the clown and start evangelizing the prank across the nation, not just in Green Bay.
Oh.
So, in fact, this event actually predates the Greenville SC case by a couple of days. That was the first one to kind of blow up, but this might have
Yeah.
actually inspired some of the other clown pranking.
Oh, so you just had a bunch of copycats.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it's hard to get exact info, but it seems like Gags the Clown kind of made a few appearances, but it was all just to get some clown marketing going, to be like, oops, we made a movie about it right after it landed.
Gotcha.
So, if anyone is wondering, they actually decided to turn the short film into a feature-length horror movie called Gags the Clown, which has mixed reviews, but it's allegedly a fun movie nonetheless. So, make sure to check that out.
Nice.
All right.
I might do that tonight before washing my
Yeah,
face
you know,
off,
you
so.
should go catch a late show of the Joker.
Oh my god. I don't think they have them during the week here, but
Oh
that'd
no,
be fucking
it's worth
funny.
driving for.
Yeah.
You already invested. I'm having so much fucking trouble reading my script right now. Literally crying. Haven't felt tears in so long.
You haven't. Hey, this is why we do this, to just like have fun, right?
My God.
Yeah.
Thought I
Oh,
was the
man.
extra one for building fake websites. But okay.
You know what? I will commit to the bit.
I'm gonna
fully,
have to
so-
match the energy. So, with a few sparks set to the fire there, the clowndemic began in earnest. And as October 2016 approached, people were fully terrified of the possibility that clowns might actually be real. And just like other fake creatures like fairies, demons, and unicorns, a massive global event was about to give clowns a massive opportunity to run amok. I am, of course, talking about Halloween. So,
Okay.
yeah, to paint the picture, it is early autumn now, and Halloween costumes are beginning to line the shelves. And the ever-popular holiday giant that is Spirit Halloween is opening up. So people are going to
Yep.
have immediate access to clown costumes right as the clown panic is getting hot. And a few incidents in the news are inspiring copycat pranksters already. They can't just ban all the clown costumes that have already been produced, and shipped over to the US. So
Right.
what are they
Yeah.
even going to do? So Bailey,
Yep.
you have some experience there, I think. So do you want to kind of give us the busy season details on moving merch at Spirit Halloween? Since I think you...
Oh man. I feel like I should just go stand in the middle of the street right now, just like Anyway.
Your little broken neck. Okay.
yeah, no, I worked as most Spirit Halloween stores. I have to take that off. I can't fucking breathe. Hang on.
Your nose is getting kind of red
Man.
anyway, so I think it works.
I know. Yeah.
For the
most
audio
Spirit Halloween
listeners,
stores-
Bailey is wearing a massive red clown nose.
Yes. It doesn't squeak those. $2. So
Okay, take it off. You don't have to wear
Okay,
that for
okay.
the episode.
So most Spirit Halloween stores are like just for the season. I think there's at least one that's year round. But not very many. I've worked part-time at Spirit Halloween for the last 4 years just as like a weekend job, but within the last year I started working at Sephora and I just decided I didn't want to like juggle the two anymore. So I didn't go back this year, but it is insane like how they do all of this. Like the fact that they like move into buildings of places that like either move or
Sure.
die. It's just kind of hilarious. I kind of like not to dog on Spirit Halloween, but it's kind of like vulturous.
No, I get Vulturous. I
I
like
think
that. Yeah.
but I have seen some Spirit Halloween stores where it's literally like a giant tent in a big parking lot.
Sure. Like
Where it's
fireworks
not
stands.
an
Yeah.
actual building. Yeah, basically the same thing. But yeah, they build all of the walls. So like the pegboards and stuff,
Mhm.
they put all the displays up, they build all of the animatronics, everything. I mean, there's a store map. I even helped the like district manager put together like the registers and the computers and stuff and ran wires through the counters that we had to build, and they literally start from ground zero, and
They
um
they pay you like
like
minimum
and it's a
wage
minimum
probably to
wage
be an
job.
electrician. Like,
Yeah, right.
oh, no.
So yeah.
But they are not the
So it's definitely
company
interesting.
that's like gonna pull clown product just because people are worried.
No, they're going to sell. They don't want to have any product left over by the end of the season,
Sure.
because like on November 1st and 2nd, there's like a big half off the entire store of whatever is left.
Mm.
Um and then whatever isn't sold is actually boxed back up, sent back to like the distribution center, or they either put it there or they put it in like those um container boxes in a field in the middle of nowhere, and they sit until next year.
Scary. This
Yes.
is such a production.
Yes. So I mean, they're also not gonna pull, like they're gonna make it to where it's like, okay, well then show me, where it's illegal to do this.
Uh-huh.
And then, but I feel like, that's part of America. Like we have the freedom to sell stuff and whatever. But at the same time, it's like, oh, is it more like a legal obligation or a moral and ethical obligation? But I mean,
Exactly.
they're not gonna,
And that's
so.
that's about what I was expecting, and that was kind of the consensus through costuming was this is such a surreal moment. Um um the stores weren't pulling
Sorry.
the clown masks. They were pushing them because
Yeah.
everybody's going crazy trying to get clown merch.
Right.
While
Yeah.
at the same time, the world is going on high alert at this point. So police are issuing statements. People are driving around with guns looking for clowns, and parents and children are terrified across the country. BBC article at the very end of September 2016 going into October summarized some of the major concerns. Notably, they started cracking down on the clowns, including arresting clowns on site in some towns. The article
What?
reads that Kentucky police have arrested a man dressed as a clown lurking in a wooded area amid a wave of clown reports in at least 6 states in the U.S. at this point. So Jonathan Martin, 20, was charged with wearing a mask in public and disorderly conduct in Middlesboro. He was found out at about midnight or so on Friday in full clown costume and mask, crouching among some trees by an apartment complex, according to police. So recent reports of clowns trying to lure children into the woods have sparked alarm. Police have warned individuals against dressing up in clown costumes, adding it would lead to criminal charges. So, we
Oh,
have
shit.
this kid who hears about this clown stuff, buys a clown costume, goes out, and then immediately gets arrested. And the police double down and say, if you wear a clown costume, we're going to arrest you too. So, shout out to Jonathan. I'm sorry that happened to you, big dog.
Yeah, dude. You were just out living your best life, crouching behind some bushes in some apartment complex dressed in a full
Yeah.
clown suit.
There's-
You're just
There's nothing wrong at
know,
all there.
not being creepy at all.
But anyway, so
Yeah.
now people are now people dressing up as clowns were starting to be flagged as public nuisance, as disturbing the peace, basically anything they could drum up to try to prevent the pranksters from making the panic worse. And it wasn't just the police who were panicking still. The same article actually mentions that an 11-year-old girl was arrested in Georgia for bringing a knife to school. When questioned about it, she said that she brought the knife because she was so terrified by reports that she'd seen on social media of clowns abducting children that she felt she needed to be armed.
What?
Yes. So now behavior like this started raising major concerns in the school systems. And as expected, schools across the nation started responding by banning clowns. In an article published on The Guardian, they put together a massive list of statements by school officials calling for clown-free campuses. So some of those calls were as follows.
Clown-free campuses.
Yep. There we go, right there. That's a good college.
Well, I'm triggered. Something doesn't smell right here.
My God, this fucking episode's gonna be 4 hours long.
Oh man.
This was supposed to be a filler. Okay. So, in West Milford, New Jersey, Superintendent Alex Anemone put out a message to the school saying, as a precaution and to allow our youngest children to feel comfortable, we are asking all students, parents, and staff to follow the below rules to make sure our Halloween celebration is as enjoyable as possible for everyone. Clown costumes,
Okay.
masks, or face paint shall be prohibited. All right.
Oh.
So then in Montclair, New Jersey, the interim superintendent, Ron Bolandi, penned a similar memo to parents saying, I am asking for your cooperation in not allowing your children to dress up as clowns at any school event due to the possible disruption and
What?
fear it may cause. If anyone shows up with a clown-related costume, they will be asked to change or sent home. So it was getting pretty wild, and of course, that's not it, nor is that the most extreme. The school district of New Haven, Connecticut, held a press conference designating clowns as symbols of terror and banning all clown outfits on school premises. So schools across America followed suit, and before long, parades, adult parties, bars, and other social gathering spots began advertising against Big Red Noses, saying if you're dressed as a clown, you're not getting in, and they will call the police. So
What the
yeah,
hell?
it went wild. So the tension was growing along with the costume availability. And now the tides had sort of turned, where clown pranksters were having a great year like a month ago. Now dressing as a clown could get you arrested or even shot as the public grew increasingly scared of the clown threat. So this all worked because a dangerous feedback loop sort of caused this thing to blow up. Social media enabled a few reports to spread way outside their typical geographical area. Traditional media saw something salacious and wanted a piece of those ad dollars, which led to more people dressing as clowns in hopes that they could go viral, which led to more sightings and more panic. So part of the reason
Oh,
this
no.
yeah. So part of the reason this worked out so well, again, is the sort of once-in-a-century collision of a lot of clown media happening all at once. Again, Gags the Clown, the Joker being the main point in the Suicide Squad movie, ads for the new Stephen King movie, It, that would be coming out next year. Another part of it was the accessibility of clown costumes. Not everyone can afford a Bigfoot costume, but almost anyone can afford a goofy outfit and a little bit of clown makeup. So tall,
Right.
short, any gender, any size, you can be a clown. It's a very inclusive costume in that sense. And when people saw that clowns were trending, they knew that they could like hop on the trend whenever they wanted. A terrified media
Yeah.
and civil population improved your odds of getting attention. And what do
Oh
pranksters
my
really want?
gosh. Right.
A laugh.
Well, right. Like, this is all like so ridiculous. I mean, I get it. but it's so over the top.
It is. And just for the
Like-
record, I don't see your outfit as a symbol of terror, and I'm not offended personally.
Thank you.
Literally, I can't do this. I'm gonna have to end my episode.
You're gonna.
So,
Oh man. Okay. Well, on a serious note, I will say there are schools now that don't allow masks,
mhm.
but you can still do face paint. You can't have like a full face covering, and you can't have like fake weapons. So like if you dress up as Darth Vader, you can't have a lifesaver. A light.
It's gobstopper
lightsaber.
territory.
This is gobstopper.
More of a Jolly
territory.
Rancher fandom, but okay.
Yeah.
Man, do the teachers think that lightsabers are real?
I mean, the kids just use them to like hurt other kids. So
Mm.
that's why it's like, yeah.
That's for sure. That's
So,
for sure. Like,
I don't know.
haha, you have a blue lightsaber.
Yeah.
You're not a Sith. That's what I would do.
Right.
Okay. So,
Dude, this isn't getting really hot.
well, I will talk faster. This sort of mass hysteria couldn't have happened without the fact that so many people are afraid of clowns. I found a National Library of Medicine article that referenced a survey of almost 1,000 adults that showed about 53.5% of people have at least some fear of clowns. The article goes on to list several hypotheses explaining this, and one of the most prevalent is the idea that clowns exist in the uncanny valley, something we've kind of talked about before. So with
Oh,
exaggerated
yeah.
features and personalities that aren't quite real, but real enough to be perceived as a threat. So, Bailey, are you scared of clowns?
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, I think it's normal to be scared of things that seem a little silly. But like I used to be scared of spiders. I'm not really scared of them
They
anymore.
are a little silly.
Yeah. But it honestly depends. I mean, I do remember I read the Stephen King It book when I was in like junior high at some point, and it took me a long time to get through, but I was pretty scared of clowns then. And then the Terrifier movies I really enjoyed because they were messed up, right? But art is actually like it's kind of like a comedy.
Yeah, he's
too.
like a good guy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just kills people.
Yeah, there've been a few of those.
So, yeah. But I don't know. I guess there's context too because normally I'm not. But if I were driving home and saw one standing in the woods by like alone,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'd be a little scared. I'd be like, what the
But
hell is that guy doing?
that's true.
Like,
And I mean, context and setting is everything. Because like, if I saw like a pale little girl, like, in the store, I wouldn't think anything of it. But if I saw one standing like off the side of the road by the swamp or something in the middle of the night, I'd be like, what the frick is that? A demon ghost?
exactly.
Like, anything like can be scary in the right setting. So that's a good point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I am definitely not scared of clowns. I think
Uh-huh.
a lot of our listeners have been on Clown Girl Honk Heaven on the bandwagon, and I agree that there's actually something alluring about clowns. I'm gonna not that one. Like
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
actually,
yeah.
I didn't dress in a whole clown livery or anything, but I do have my Clown Girl t-shirt on today. It says
Ethan,
dump him.
that is hilarious.
Yeah, I'm too shy to wear that now because I'm being outgunned in the clown department. Um, yeah, I gotta cut a lot of this out now. Damn. Um,
It's okay.
um, but-
I'm not a clown. I'm just dressing up as
yeah.
one.
So
You know?
I stand anyway. I stand pretty firm on the issue that they're not too scary. I will also say that I did ask my wife. I asked if I could say this on the podcast, and she said okay. I asked her if we
Okay.
could do clown stuff, and she replied, "Absolutely not." Conclusion: as Halloween 2016. Jesus Christ. As Halloween 2016 approached, many local authorities and law enforcement agencies.
Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute. By clown stuff, do you mean like making balloon animals together?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like making
Okay.
balloon animals, slipping
Yeah.
on a banana peel, that kind of thing.
I think you guys would be great at that. I think maybe you should just talk to her again about it.
I'll bring it. I
No.
will bring it up again. I will say that I talked to
Okay.
some close friends, and they said that she should reconsider. So as Halloween 2016 approached, many local authorities and law enforcement agencies explicitly discouraged clown costumes, which reduced the number of sightings a little bit. So 2016 was also an election year. So as Halloween approached, a lot of the media hype shifted to the November election cycle stuff because two more distinguished clowns were on the podiums and not necessarily out in the woods scaring people. That was, again, a
Oh,
very
yep.
controversial election.
Yes.
And it attracted a lot of media attention. And that's basically where it ended. It ended up being one of the biggest fizzles in media. The cops won and the clowns lost, essentially, as per frickin' usual. But I think it makes for an interesting reflection and a great study on how things can get out of control really fast and go from relatively harmless to, being still harmless, but people being terrified. And then how the media can be so engrossed in something, and as soon as something a little shinier comes along, it can be gone in a snap.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I just looked it up. The International Clown Day is celebrated each year on the first week of August.
Oh,
So we missed it.
sad. Well, next year we're gonna celebrate.
Yeah.
it.
And to that I say, bring them back. Bring them back. Bring them back.
And for the New Jersey school officials and Green Bay law enforcement. Oh wait, Green Bay didn't care. Yeah, we're cool with you,
Yeah,
Green Bay.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
For others who are arresting clowns, we are not explicitly speaking
Maybe-
out in support of clown terrorism, but honestly, kind of screw you. Let the clowns do their things. It's October.
No, maybe look inward and see that we all have a little clown inside of us.
Slow.
We're gonna lose like a bunch of followers
We're
because they're gonna be like, "What the hell?"
We're gonna drop down to 4 listeners. It's me 3 times. Wow.
Yeah, you 3 times.
So that's about all I've got on the clown thing. Again, it was kind of monumental to see like the rise and then the immediate fall of this. And it also dropped before Halloween. It didn't even make it all the way to Halloween.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad
Dang.
it was kind of good just to talk about it, to like reaffirm that I wasn't the only one like trapped in this weird like clown media cycle where I was getting like clown news about how scary it was and all my friends were like talking about it. So that's good. I didn't just make this
Yeah.
up in my head.
No, I mean, you and I were definitely friends around
Mhm.
that time, and I remember talking with you about it, you know?
Absolutely. But in
And,
retrospect, it doesn't sound real.
No. I think anything pre-COVID is just kind of weird.
was a
Feels kind of like a
different
fever
life.
dream.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly. Stuff was
Like,
wild back then.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah, you just get out and just do stuff. You hear about a clown, you go to the Walmart. Walmart was open 24 hours a day. You buy some clown stuff and get out in the woods, scare some people. It could
Yeah.
happen exact like real time like that.
I just remembered I have to take my trash out because tomorrow's trash day. I might take that
Dressed as a clown still.
dressed as a clown.
Nobody's gonna
still.
screw with you, at least. Not that you're in like a
No.
people mess with you when you're taking the trash out neighborhood, but
Yeah. No, we do have some interesting neighbors on the other side of the block because there's like a bar on the
Mhm.
corner over there. But yeah, I don't know.
if you all have had a scary or positive clown experience that I can relay to my wife, you can get a hold of us, nicheknowledgeandnonsense@gmail.com. You can find us on socials. We're on Instagram at NKNPod. If you're listening, wherever you are listening, if you could please just follow the podcast, leave us a rating. It really helps us get seen. And we will see
Yeah.
you all again in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but on Spotify you can watch a video version instead of just audio.
Yeah, this is a great
but
time
you
to
can
click
also
on
leave.
that.
Yeah, but you can also leave comments on every single one of our videos.
Heck yeah, that would be awesome
so if you
too.
want,
And
you could do that.
also, big shout out to Eric Safaro for letting us use the great song Cherry Crush as our theme music. Always got new music coming out, so check him out anywhere you stream.
Yeah, thanks guys.